Lagos State Government will from Monday, 19th February 2024, commence full enforcement of the ban on usage and distribution of styrofoam food containers across the state. Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, stated this during a stakeholders' engagement on solid waste management with Lagos State market leaders. Wahab said enforcement officers from Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps, against environmental health officials and Loma Police and the ministry will go after all those having the styrofoams in their shops, stores or outlets and confiscate them. He emphasized that styrofoam usage had caused enough damage to the health of the residents and the state of the environment for so many years, and that government is determined to encourage viable options for styrofoam containers across the metropolis. The commissioner appealed to market leaders to be reminded that cleanliness is next to godliness, and as such they must ensure that a clean environment remains a priority always. The federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Works, has announced that the Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos will not be available for 24 hours for motorists from Iyanoworo-Shoki to Lagos Island. Federal Controller of Works Lagos, Olukorede Kesha, in a statement says traffic resumes on Monday by 12 a.m. on this corridor. Kesha says motorists coming out of the island and heading towards Oworoshoki will have full access throughout the 24-hour closure. She explains that the temporary 24 hours total closure of the Oworoshoki to Adeniji-Adile-bound traffic is to enable the ministry carry out effective repairs on an important section of the bridge. She advised Lagos Island-bound motorists to make use of alternative routes like Ojota Iwodi-Ikorodu Road, Funshaw Williams Avenue, Eko Bridge, Akbombo to CMS, or Ojota Iwodi-Ikorodu Road, Jibowo, Yaba, Oyigbo, Ido to Carter Bridge to connect CMS, and Bagada Inward Anthony to Ikorodu Road, Funshaw Williams, Eko Bridge, Akbombo to connect CMS. She urged motorists to cooperate with the traffic management officials deployed to manage traffic and ensure hitch-free movement in order to minimize the discomfort during this repair period. The chairman, Lagos State House of Assembly Committee on Waterfront, Bolahon Yishao, has emphasized the imperative of empowering the youth to become skilled professionals, thus contributing meaningfully to their communities. Ishao, who represents Etiosa Constituency 2, stated this as he distributed 1,000 free JAMB forms to enable young constituents to pursue higher education. The lawmaker also, while emphasizing human capital development, reiterated his unwavering commitment to education, stressing this pivotal role in national progress.
JAMB form is to ensure that our youth, our children get into university to be able to study the course of their desire so that they can become professionals and be useful to the community. As we all know, in the past, everything has always been infrastructure. But these days, it is human capital development, and every nation is as strong and as prosperous as the human capital that they have. And our youth are the most critical demography of the people that we need to develop.
Ishao said education is key and a nation can only develop as robustly as its educational system. He added that investing in the youth translates to investing in the future and nurturing the next generation of leaders and innovators. The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, Akin Sawyer, says student loans will be disbursed directly to the institutions of applicants to avoid diversion. He says individuals who obtain the loans will be made to repay their loans 2 years immediately after completion of the mandatory National Youth Service Corps. Sawyer made this known during a meeting with the Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission, Chris Meyaki, in Abuja. Sawyer says the sources of the funding include 1% of all profits accruing to the federal government from oil and other minerals, 1% of taxes, levies and duties accruing from the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Nigeria Immigration Service, Nigeria Customs Service, education bonds and education endowment fund schemes. He adds that the education loan will also be funded through donations, gifts, endowment, and revenue accruing from any other source. Meanwhile, lecturers under the auspices of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, the Federal University of Technology Akure chapter, has again reiterated rejection of the proposed students' loan scheme initiated by the President Bola Tinubu-led administration. The lecturers described the scheme as a way to starve the public universities of funds, also saying if implemented, it would further stifle Nigerian indigent students. Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia has called for the establishment of a naval base in the state to boost security. He said the establishment of a naval base will foster closer collaboration between the Nigerian Navy and other security agencies operating in Benue. Alia requested a Nigerian Navy Type A operation base in Makadi during his visit to the Chief of Naval Staff, Emmanuel Ogala, in Abuja. The governor lamented the security challenges confronting the state, saying that many communities are under siege and people are living in fear and threatened by criminal elements, particularly armed herders and bandits. Noting that River Benue is one of the two major inland waterways in Nigeria, running from the Nigerian-Cameroon border to its confluence with River Niger at Lokoja, Alia said enhanced security along River Benue and the adjoining coastal communities and waterways was critical to achieving the developmental aspiration. The governor lamented that the security situation along the river and its adjoining communities has largely remained volatile due to the absence of operational Navy presence along the river. Now to foreign news. Thailand's convicted former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra has arrived at his mansion in the capital Bangkok after being released on parole. The billionaire was freed from a police hospital where he had been serving a one-year jail sentence for corruption and abuse of power. Thaksin, 74, was detained as soon as he returned to Thailand last August from 15 years in self-imposed exile. Thaksin's original 8-year prison term was commuted to 1 year by Thailand's king just days after he returned from exile. The handling of the case has led to criticism from many Thais who say the rich and powerful are often given privileged treatment. Thaksin was seen being driven away from the police hospital in the capital where he had spent the last 6 months. Thai authorities said Thaksin was eligible for parole due to his age and health issues. Now sports. Polish professional and world number 1 Iga Swiatek won the Qatar Open for the third year in a row after beating Kazakhstani Elena Rybakina 7-6, 6-2 in the final. Swiatek is the first player to win 3 straight titles at the same WTA event since Serena Williams completed a Miami Open hat trick from 2013 to 2015. Rybakina fell short in her bids for a third title of the year, as she had lifted the trophy last week in Abu Dhabi after winning in Brisbane at the start of January. Swiatek, who entered the final having won her last 21 sets at the tournament, made a dreadful start as she fell a double break behind at 1-4. And that ends our news at 1. Just before we go, speed thrills but kills. Avoid excessive speeding. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, formerly Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Watch us live on Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. On YouTube, subscribe and watch all our previous programs and news of our channel, Traffic Radio 961. Did you know that the Seoul administration began Community Tourism Initiative? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to Lagos Traffic Radio at lagosstate.gov.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Kayode Mafolashere. I am Dele Agadumo. Good afternoon. Thank you for listening.